We're now pleased to be joined on the call by the head coaches Campbell, Braxton, Harris. Good morning, Braxton.
Hey Rob, how are you?
I'm well. I hope you are too. Fall camp has come to a close. It's game week. And before we start breaking down your conference opener, just talk about how your fall camp has gone.
Yeah, it happens fast. It always does. Every year happens a little bit faster. This was year two for us here. You started to see some differences in January. In January, we knew that what we had to do is build a roster that could win in the fourth quarter to help us win CAA football games. And I thought our coaching staff, a huge credit to our coaching staff, I thought they did an incredible job of going to get young men that see Campbell as an opportunity, that want to be here, that want to get a great education, that want to play at a high level in the CAA. Then those guys continue to work all spring. Huge credit to this group of how hard they work each and every day. They're self motivators, right? I mean, that's the best kind of team to coach is for a coach that you get to come in and just coach X's and O's and technique, and they handle the rest of that. And this group has done a really good job of being consistent, not just through camp, but also the spring, the summer, and in fall camp in that spot. And so, I mean, Rob, we've had this group's a fun group to coach. I'm excited for them to get the opportunity to go compete this coming week.
Even with the new guys that you've brought in year two, do you feel like you're just further along with everything with the familiarity that your players have with you and you with them?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I think that in football, you can go into ten field houses right across the country. And you're going to see 10 different slogans about what it takes to win, right? And they're not wrong. They're all good for winning in those spots. We feel like we know exactly what we're looking for and what we need here at Campbell. We want guys that want the opportunity and they see Campbell as an opportunity to be able to, maybe it's an FBS kid that comes down, drops down, and he gets the opportunity to get reps and be able to get in the two deep in that spot. Maybe it's an FCS kid that wants to be able to play in the CAA and be able to play against one of the toughest schedules in college football. Maybe it's guys that are coming back that want to be able to continue to build a brand and a legacy here at Campbell. And so we really felt like being able to pinpoint guys that wanted to be at Campbell was more important than anything in the recruiting process. And what happened is what happened, Rob, is when you go through that process, you bring in guys that are in the locker room, they're already like that. You bring in new guys and they start to gel and they start to connect a lot sooner because they're like-minded. They see things the same. When you're like-minded, you connect a lot quicker.
Let's break down your team a little bit, and we'll start on the offensive side of the ball. We were fortunate to be joined by Mark Biggins during our media day, and he talked about the motivation that he had and the return of Mike Chandler at quarterback. How has the offense looked, and who are those two of the guys that you're counting on to make it go this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Mark, right? Mark was able to put enough on a resume last year with a broken hand to be able to show that he can compete in the CAA and be a force to reckon with in this league. And so he's a huge part of us being able to run the ball efficiently, to be able to open things up. And like you said, Mike Chandler is as dynamic as anybody in the CAA. Really excited to be able to see him, be able to year two with him and within our offense, being able to be back there. I'm excited with those guys can bring to the table.
How about as far as I know, you had some holes to fill up front and some other spots. Do you feel like that's coming together?
Yeah, you look at our offensive line, you're talking about, six, you're talking about six guys that played significant snaps for you on the offensive line coming back. All those guys, Rob, they got here in June of last year before we played CAA football games. And so getting all that time where those guys can be able to come together, we're really excited about the continuity that we're able to put with that group. They've had all of spring, all of summer, and then now fall camp to be able to work together. Guys like Dante Jones are going to continue to be forces for us in there. Freddie Pelling is a staple. He started all 12 games for us last year at left tackle. He'll continue to do that. Mason Merriweather, Dane Turney, Jaden Colvin, Jack O'Connor are guys that they played in this game last year against Rhode Island, and so they know what they're walking into and they know what they're to expect out of the speed of the game.
Let's flip over to the defense. Here are some guys that have caught your eye on that side of the ball.
Yeah, you look at that side. Well, just we're able to bring back six guys that had significant snaps for us last year, and that's why Raymond Macias, our defensive line, Amari Wilson, our defensive end, those guys are going to be really big pillars for us. Again, they've played in this game. A year ago, we didn't have many guys that had played in this game, right? And now you're looking at building a core group of guys that have done those things. Logan Livermont's going to continue to be significant for us in the middle of our defense, being able to help get guys lined up and get where they're going. Then Brandon Guzman, and then JoJo Pace on the back end are guys that have those six guys. They played in a lot of games. Lakeem Rudolph at an outside linebackers to the field. They played significant snaps. They know what the CAA looks like. And the neat thing about all those guys that I just mentioned, guys coming back, they know what it looks like. Then they went to work in January to work to go and meet that standard. And so I'm excited for them to get the opportunity to compete this week.
We talked on Media Day about your schedule last year, one of the toughest in the country, and now you come right out of the gate and hit number 9 right on the road to start your year. But the fact that it's a conference game, does that change anything in preparation or motivation? Does that make it easier to get guys ready to go?
Yeah, I guess we'll find out on Friday, right? We'll find out
Yeah.
Friday night how it worked out. But I think what it did, it gave us a clarity of focus. We went up to Rhode Island last year and we got beat by them 20-9 at their place. We had things that we felt like we could have done better. And having a conference opponent, the defending conference champion, week 1 for us, we know we got to be ready to go. We can't have a slow start. We can't ooze into things. They're the type of team with the experience that they're bringing back. You make mistakes and you give them things that they're gonna pounce upon it. That's what good teams do. When you make mistakes, good teams make you pay for those things. And if you watch them, you watch their games from last year. You watch the Central Connecticut playoff game, right? Like the Central Connecticut made mistakes, and Rhode Island took advantage of it and was able to go to transition to that win right there. We got to be able to eliminate those things, and so I think it's given us more of an urgency, right, in camp, that we don't have time. Time is not our friend, and that we got to be able to get ready to go.
What are some of the biggest challenges that they present for you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, they're the defending conference champs, right? Anybody that goes 2, 3 rounds deep in the playoffs, like they were able to do this past year, and then on top of that, in this world of FCS college football, as many guys they've been able to bring back. It obviously starts with AJ Pena on their defense. I mean, he's dynamic. I mean, we've got to be able to know where he is each and every play. He's just different, right? Doesn't matter who we play this year, he's going to be different than those guys. And then obviously, Devin Farrell, the quarterback, man, he's dynamic. We saw it last year. He played against us, and he had 2 scramblers, explosive plays that really hurt us, and we were able to see that. Him coming back for another year in that spot, and so just the continuity. And I think Coach Fleming's done an incredible job of building a program and a culture up there. If you make mistakes, they're going to make you pay. You look at their games when the other team makes mistakes, they create explosives, they create touchdowns. And up there at home, they're a really good home football team. I mean, you look at over the last 4 years, I bet you they've won close to 20 football games plus at home in the last 4 years. And so going up there, traveling up there, they got a lot of confidence up there. They're coming off the best season in 40 years for their program. They're gonna be feeling all the momentum in that spot. And so we've got to be able to start fast to be able to compete early with those guys.
What's the biggest thing, maybe not just keys to victory, but what's the biggest thing that you want to see from your team on Friday night?
Yeah, I want us to start fast, right? We talk about that all the time in our program. We want to come out and we want to be able to be aggressive and comfortable early in the football game. We've got to be able to come out and be able to establish ourselves in the first quarter. And then after the first quarter, then settle down and you play the second and third in that spot. But I want our program and our kids to be able to come out and execute at a high level, and then be able to finish things, drives on both offensively and defensively. That was something that last year that kind of eluded us. And that's something since January we've worked really hard within our program to really come out and start fast and be able to finish drives in the first quarter.
All right, Braxton, thanks so much for doing this here this morning. Safe travels to Rhode Island, and I look forward to talking again next Monday.
Thanks, Rob.
All right, thank you. Once again, for media members on the line, if you have questions for the coaches here this morning, just use the chat feature or the raise your hand icon. We're now pleased to be joined on the call by the head coach at Maine, Jordan Stevens. Good morning, Jordan.
Good morning, Rob. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you. I hope all is well with